Hello, my creative friends. Jessica Sanders here of ColorMeCreativeArt.com. Today I am surrounded by my new Dina Wakley supplies. I think I mentioned in the last video that I would do a journal page for you, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to just chat and journal, and I don't yet know what I'm doing. I just have out my supplies as my inspiration and just see what happens. I'll try to fast forward time lapse through the boring parts, but yeah, so let's just see what happens. I'm really loving these scribble sticks. You've already seen this page. You've already seen most of these pages. Here's another thing that I just worked on a little. I didn't like the way it turned out. I gessoed over the whole thing. So I'm just going to turn here and get started. I've been having a lot of fun with these, but you may see pinks and oranges showing up because I've been looking at all these Pinterest images, working on my next Skillshare class of flamingos. I'm going to do some watercolor flamingo painting. So it's pretty fun, but I know that whatever I take in always comes back out, so fair warning to you. If you don't like pink, I'm sorry. I am sure it's going to be here. I already started with it without really even thinking about it. I've been using this a lot this way, where I dip it. This is just water. It's a dirty paint cup. Sorry guys, I'm not the most pristine. Anyway, you dip the flat end in water, and then it's great. The pigment just flows off, and then as it dries, you get this nice textured effect, which is really cool. And the color is so vibrant. I am using ungessoed watercolor paper in my Dina Wakley Media journal. In case you were wondering, I am loving this journal so far. And I'm just going to kind of work intuitively here and see what happens. I just like laying down color. And all the color that I lay down is going to be really, vibrant as long as I'm laying it down this method, because it just intensifies that color. And I'm just doing just some random scribbling, as you can see. Fun stuff. May forward through some of this, I don't know. Of course, I always have to have blues. This is actually, what color is this? Sky. This is actually sky. There we go. Gonna go right over that red a little bit. And it really doesn't, it may blend to your eye, but the colors don't mix. They're pretty opaque. So unless it's wet, you don't get a real purpley effect by adding those two colors together. All right, kind of liking that. Maybe add some dark. Night. This is night. All the same method of coloring and overlapping and getting some texture and all that. I really love this texture of this paper. Really, it's different than other papers, and it's very interesting. I don't know where I'm going next. Yellow. Let me do yellow. Let me do yellow spots. This is another thing that I've just been doing over and over again. Is making little circles with the end. Again, I'm just dipping it in the water and just creating little dots. Really, they're just dots. They just make me happy. Now, I am quite sure that I'm going to get green here, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. Because that blue's still kind of wet. It mixes. It's okay. I'm alright with that. But now look, that's no big deal, because guess what? I'm going to just add a little bit of green here until it goes back to yellow, because I just like to keep my sort of clean. Not completely. I know what we need. We need blackberry. And this time I'm going to use the pointy end and do the same method and kind of just make some random Now there may be faster other ways to do this, but I have to tell you, this is just so much fun. It's just, and I'm not sure you'll get the same effect doing this a different way. And I'm just sort of randomly putting dots, but at the same time I'm working on composition, connecting the elements kind of thing. And I usually tend to do things in threes, so that was a big drop of water, so it made like a little puddle there, which I'm good with. It's pretty cool. All right, I wonder if these yellows are still wet. I kind of want to like color around them with the purple, but I don't want to get brown, so I'll wait on that. I kind of want to do that. Teal, we haven't used this. It's actually turquoise. I'm going to do the small dots again. Now I kind of have to let this dry a little bit, and I don't really want to use a heat tool on it, so maybe I'll just move my book over and work on this page next to it, which is also watercolor paper. I mean, you know, there are different kinds of paper. This is canvas, and this one was watercolor paper. I gessoed both of these. I don't want to flip the page, but there's burlap and on different surfaces, which makes it really quite interesting to work on. So I think what I'm going to do is just maybe play with this acrylic just a little bit on the page next to it. I'm not doing like a 2-page spread or anything. I just want to play with it, letting this dry. And I often work on multiples at once, so I really love. I'm surprised by how much I love these products, because I told you before, I was kind of skeptical. Look, I've gotten turquoise ocean on my lemon. Hey, that's okay. Lemon, ocean, fabulous, right? Just add some water here. Oh, it's closed. I'm gonna add some water. Now this is going to move a lot because it's not gessoed, it's watercolor paper, so it just doesn't move unless you tell it to, basically. I like how this is flowing. I think I'll help that a little bit. Not sure if you can see that. Just kind of helping that along with my finger. Makes it splashy outy. And again, you see I'm making those dots. I just like that. All right, so just kind of working on that, letting that. Let me put Post-it notes underneath there. There we go. I don't know if you noticed, but this paper is not buckling, even though my scribble sticks were wet, and this is wet. This paper is not going, woo. It's just staying pretty flat. I don't even need to clip it. Tap that out of there, the seam there. Now I see that there's some binding strings here. So I'm quite sure that if you get art media in there, it's going to flow through those little holes. So just keep that in mind. I'm good with it. I'm not worried about it. Let me see. I want some washi tape. So I kind of want to do some washi tape. I've got some Jane Davenport washi. I think I'm just addicted to art supplies, guys. I just love it. Now, where do I want to put this tape? Just adding more elements. And this is clear, so it's going to, it's not clear, but when it goes on the page, it's translucent. So we'll just kind of blend in with everything. You'll be able to see those marks that I made underneath it. Some of these are not completely dry, so let me get a different tape. This is a Tim Holtz tape. It's one of my favorites also. But I don't want, I kind of just want a small piece. I don't want that big of a piece. Well, I really don't want this crown on there. I'll save that for later. I have a piece of wax paper over there that I can just stick extra washi tape on. Now this is also translucent. I want to put it right there. Just makes me happy. I'm just doing what makes me happy. All right. You know, this makes me happy. Okay. Like, I like this page just the way it is. I realize it doesn't really have a focal point, but I'm liking the background. But I am going to take it further because I just want to share with you more. So I'm going to keep going. So these are mostly dry. So I think I can get away with drawing around them with the purple. Now, when I do that, I lost all that softness. I kind of want to make that flow around there. And I'm not drawing perfect circles, as you can see. I'm just kind of making marks here. Scribbly marks. Dina, I think, would be proud. Okay. And again, make that flow and that flow. These are going to re-wet. You can do coloring into the wet, which works kind of cool. Just want to let this flow. Again, I'm just helping it to flow. Let me make this a little bit more flowy. Oh, I like how that yellow's coming out too. I don't know if you can see that. Let me look close. So can you see this yellow in this area? That yellow flowed out a little bit. Really nice. Okay. This is perfect. And I'm back to letting this dry. So I'm sorry guys, but some of what I was doing didn't get recorded. Basically, I did some splattering and some journaling. And added some white acrylic splatters and some splatters with the media sticks, the scribble sticks, by wetting my brush and flicking it against the end. Such a fun technique. I am sorry that it did not get recorded. And then I also worked on some stamping for sort of a focal point for this page, which was a direct to stamp technique, which I will show you now while this page is drying by adding just another, I'll just add another stamp to my image. So basically, you just take your stamp. This is called Abstract Blooms by Dina Wakley, and you spritz it with water, and then you color on it with your scribble sticks. So maybe some orange. I want to get sort of a coral effect. It's the flamingos. I'm telling you, the flamingos made me do it. And some red and some. This red is called ruby, and this pink is called magenta, and ruby, and this orange is tangerine. I want to add a little bit of blackberry. Haven't learned all the color names yet. There, and some green. And this has to be wet in order for this technique to work. Dina showed us this in class. And then all you do is you're going to get sort of a watercolor effect depending on how your wet your stamp was. And you just stamp it. And then look at that. Really nice. And then maybe just add a little bit of texture around. I already have some other little stamps on there. Maybe I'll stamp this way and that way. I don't know how this is going to, where this will be used in the end, but there we go. And then, you know, if you want to clean it, you can just spritz it off like that. But of course you don't have to, but your colors will get mixed next time. So you might want to be careful about that. So I did that and created these sort of focal images. I'm just going to cut this out. And my page is actually almost finished. And I wanted to use this as a focal point. Focal point. For some reason I thought of Bing Quan Zin when I said focal point. He's an amazing watercolor artist. Amazing. I love his work. So this is kind of what I'm going for. I like this line at the top. I don't know why. I'm going to trim it up more though. I want it to be skinny. 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 There we go. And I'm going to put this in here, but I want something behind it. Actually, I also want to maybe write on here. And I wrote in the book, play, inspiration, and courage. So maybe I think I'll write on my tag. I'm not a letterer, but I just want to, well, actually, not only do I want to write on my tag, I kind of want to like scribble on it too. This is dry. Remember, use your pens on dry. You don't want to ruin your pens. I'm not worried about filling this in. I like the way it looks now. Just kind of making this my own this way. And I always like something to ground my art a little bit. And I guess I could have used words for that, but let me see. Where's this? Maybe I should use these little strips. That's an idea. Okay, so what if I just wrote courage to play. All right, I like that. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to edge this with this purple. Make it stand out. There we go. And then take my, this is not a watercolor brush, but I'm gonna dampen my brush and sort of pull that color around on this little piece. Maybe pick up a little bit of that magenta. And maybe even a little bit of ruby just to tie it all together. Just on the ends there. And now I need to let that dry. It's my brush. This is drying. This is dry. So I'm going to take my Signo and add some more scribbling to it. You can see now why I took the scribble class. I really love to scribble. Like if I did, when I draw, I just sort of keep going until it looks the way I want. It looks really cool and fun, and this may not turn out the way I wanted it to. I think actually I'm going to rip it right there. I'm just going to rip it there. Go back to my scribble stick and make that really dark. really dark. Darken it all again. Then do the same with this. I'm not going to pull the color over this time. I'm just going to make it dark on the edges. Maybe smudge it a little. Just smudge it on the corner there. Just on the bottom there. I don't want that to be too much, but that kind of adds some grounding to it also. And I have in here, if I can carefully, let me see. I still have some wet spaces on there, but I'm getting here. I'm getting to a place where I like it. So I think what I want to do is flip back over. If I can carefully do that, I have some little swirled up pieces of twine and string that I've pulled from this journal, and for some reason that just appeals to me so much. And I'm just gonna put it like, I'm figuring out if I want to put it on here, put it like this, actually kind of like that right there. Do I want to put that on there? Okay, so I like this, but this part's bothering me, so I'm going to cut that off. There's no rule that I have to keep it all, right? Get rid of that. I'm just going to put that just like that. And you know what this needs? It needs a bloom. It needs a bloom. So I'm going to go back to here and wet. I just want one. Which one? I think this one. And I'm going to use this red and orange. I'm sorry, it's ruby and tangerine, if you want to know. And I don't want to stamp that on my book, so let me move it over here. Stamp. Oh, it was pretty messy. That's okay though. Still not sure. I am still not sure. Let's stamp this off. I'm still not sure. I feel like I need something to ground it all. Oh, I do know. I know what it needs. What I always love to do. Let me see. I want to move this. Let that dry a little. Now, this is not going to be dry when I put this on here, so. There's a way to get a solid circle with these, but I kind of like this design. I told you I love these paints. Oh my gosh. Kind of adding it on in some other places just to tie it all together. Must be tied together. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Then I will put this, maybe. I want to add the layer, and now at the same time, I'm just really happy with where it is now, so. I probably used way too much paint for that, but I got a little excited. Okay, so I'm going to call this my journal page, and I don't know yet if I will add this, or maybe I'll just put it somewhere else. It was fun to make anyway, but now I'm like, hey, I don't know if I want to add that to my page. Kind of not sure. Although I like this together, but I'm not sure I want it on this page. So, you know, it's my art journal and I can do what I want to do. And what I want to do is not put it on there right now. So I'm going to save this, and who knows where it will end up, and we'll just have to wait and see. But so this is what it is for now. It may change later, but I'm going to say goodbye now, and thank you so much for joining me for this art journal play session. I hope you'll get out your journal and play and experiment and have fun. Don't be afraid to make a big mess. Making messy messes is the best fun in art, and you don't have to clean it up. It's just awesome. I think you can see this is still drying over here, so I'm trying to be really careful, but I just love the way this looks, even the way it is right now. It's not finished, but I still love it. And then this page, I hope that you can see. Would I say I'm completely happy with this page? No, there's some elements on this page I don't particularly like, but I had fun making it, and so who knows, it may stay, it may go, but for now it is what it is. So thank you so much for journaling with me, for joining me, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure and give me that thumbs up down there, and don't forget that you can subscribe and click that little bell so that you can be updated every time I upload a new video. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you soon.